and good Saturday morning as the temperatures here start to crank up. Really crank up. It's going to be 87, 88 today, 95 tomorrow, then 100 on Monday and Tuesday, and then 91 on Wednesday. So here comes the heat. I got that open just in time. That's for sure. Got that open just in time. Yeah, I'm getting ready later to party. Myself, just me, in there. I got all the electrical equipment out again. And I think I resolved the audio issue. Okay, timeout. I'm doing work on the side here. Okay. And we're not on TikTok, so I can talk without having to worry what I'm saying. Oh my gosh, that platform is so brutal. It really is. But there's a lot of people you can reach with that. I'm up to like 1,000. So, and they all come to hang out in there, and they're all cool people. So, it is what it is. It's quieter in here. YouTube, Facebook, Rumble. At least I can feel like I'm interacting with people when I'm on TikTok. It's just the way it is. What does this mean? Video not available. What are you talking about? Video not available. Did I do something wrong? On YouTube? I didn't even stream on YouTube yesterday. What the heck is that? That is weird. We're live everywhere else. Unless YouTube is having issues. It's always possible. Live on all the other platforms, except TikTok. TikTok might be later by itself. Rumble's live. Everything's live. You can't, God forbid you say Rumble, YouTube, or anything else on TikTok. It's like they have a heart attack. That is so stupid. Oh, I'm definitely going swimming soon, but not yet. It's too early. I actually got sunburned yesterday. It was terrible. Kelly was chilling out for a little while. I'm trying to figure out why YouTube is not working. Video unavailable. Let me see if it went private for some stupid reason. That's impossible. I should be able to open up my own video. It says it's live. But when I click on it, it says video unavailable. Oh, there it goes. It just worked. That is weird. Kelly was actually helping me with the audio tests. Yeah, I just got YouTube back up. So I actually got sunburn yesterday. That's why that umbrella's up. I ain't taking no chances today in the sun. I can't. Like I said, I couldn't sleep last night. That's how burned I got. Alexa, turn on the living room light.
Okay.
That's a little too bright, Alexa. Too bright. But I'm not gonna. It's burned. You could see how red it is. See how red that is? It's not just the shirt. It's, oh my gosh. Alexa, shut that light. Oh my gosh, shut that light.
You betcha.
Oh, that is like blinding. YouTube is being wacky. I don't know. It was first 1 second it said it wasn't available. And then it's saying it's available. Look how clean that water is now. My liner is teal color. It's not blue. So that's the real color. It's crystal now. And that's the Sony out there. Obviously. But you could see even, I don't know if you could see the skimmer if I was to, oh gosh, what is that? Well, I'm hitting everything else but this window. I don't know if you could see the skimmer like spinning. The water's so clean in there. Let me see. I don't know if we'll be able to see it. Nah, but it looks invisible. You can see how clean it is. You can see how clean that pool is. There's not even a leaf in there. Well, there is. I see one. Because I haven't gone in yet. But it's pretty clean. But here's the little music area right here. That's a 2,000 watt drum kit amp. That's loud. And this connects. This is the Monster. On the right, that big square is the Monster. That plugs into the drum amp, which is rectangular, which then comes out with that cable into this house to this mixer board. And it works. And I figured out what the issue was yesterday with the audio. It was the phone. It was the phone. I have a app that boosts the audio sound through the phone so I can make my earbuds sound louder. And that was on. That was causing the scratchiness. Kelly was helping me. And she was in her car. And she's saying it sounds good, a little louder. So she kind of helped me yesterday on her way. Wherever she was going, probably to the pool. Oh my gosh. But yeah, it's beautiful out. It's going to be hot. The next 4 or 5 days, hot. Not so bad today, close to 90. Then that's it. The furnace is ignited. 95 tomorrow, 100 Monday, 100 Tuesday, 91 Wednesday. Oh, here it comes. Heat wave time. It officially starts tomorrow, the heat wave. There's like a severe heat warning going on here for tomorrow. A heat advisory, not severe. Alexa, what's the weather for the next 7 days?
The next 7 days in New
Now
York
you'll
will
see.
be hot and humid. Expect temperatures ranging from 70 to 99 degrees, with an extreme heat warning in effect from Sunday to Tuesday. Stay hydrated and avoid prolonged outdoor activities during peak heat.
So when they say 70, that's nighttime. That's the low, 70s. 72 at night. It's not going to drop. And humid. So they saying 99. It's 100. Pretty much. That's Monday and Tuesday. Tomorrow, 95. Wednesday, 91. Today, 88. And I'm going to get that smoker going by 1. Cooking that smoker while I'm in the pool. And chill out. I love that the flag is on that screen. You don't even know. And I can't move the camera on the tripod. It's staying right there. I ain't moving a thing. Because the camera looks pretty good actually right now. Nice and sharp. Good morning, Dagger. How's the weather by you? Oh, I won't be on YouTube. But on Twitch and Rumble later, I will have music coming in. And I'm going to stream it and record it. I know it's going to be a hot week. I was just talking about that. It's going to be near 100 here for a couple days. 95 tomorrow, 100 and 100 Monday, Tuesday. That's crazy. Matter of fact, let me look. There is some rain. Let's look at all the rain is way to the north. I mean Canada north. And Ohio. Looks like Michigan, maybe leaving Michigan. Yeah, it looks like it's leaving Michigan. Most of it's in Canada. Good. Let them get it. No offense. Okay, we have a problem. I don't know which screen I'm sharing after I do this. Why did I do that? There we go. So you can see just leaving Michigan. Let's see which way it's moving. Yep, east. It's moving east, away from Michigan. Maybe, I don't know if it'll make it to Buffalo across the lakes. I doubt it. Let me see. That's it. That's the only rain that was affecting the states. Oh, here goes that heat advisory. Look, there's nothing going on. A few showers here. Seattle. Pretty quiet. Look at that. Pretty quiet. That's good. But that's the heat building in. And if you just see my heat warning, it was just on the screen. Extreme heat warning. Let's go to Garden Town. Extreme heat warning. It's probably covering a big area. They probably usually show the map of the whole area that's affected. My county, orange, yep. And points east. So my county, down to the city into Jersey, and then points east to Connecticut. Probably all of Connecticut, maybe parts of Massachusetts. Hard to see it with this. Let's see, let's expand it. Yeah, they cut it right here. So it's Connecticut, lower Connecticut, my county, Dutchess, Rockland, New York City is not in it, which is weird. Jersey is, Northern Jersey. Westchester County, not the city. That's kind of odd. It's us. So get ready if you live in these areas. It's going to get hot. Extreme heat warning. Let's see what they're saying. Daily. 85 today. 95 tomorrow. 97, 101, 93. Then we get relief, which could mean that we're going to get storms because of the decrease of temperature. Not as humid. There's probably going to be a front Wednesday night. So, look at this. Oh, the heat is on. At least we're not having rain today. Hell yeah. Hot triple digits. Feel like temps coming this week. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You hit Alabama's summers. You got Monday through Thursday hot weather. Yeah, it takes time for it to shift east. But just be aware of that. That's why I had to rush to get that pool open, because I knew that it was coming. I knew it. I said, I'm not waiting. I'm getting that open ASAP. Even though the water was warmer than I expected. When I opened it 2 days ago, it's only been open for 2 days, the water was 75. I was like, whoa, it's warmer than I thought. And I don't know what it's at now, probably like 78. By the end of this day, by Wednesday, that'll be in the low 80s. That water, which I don't like. If it hits 84, I don't like it. Then it's like warm water. Yuck. Ill. Ill. I don't like water like that. I like water where I'm like hot and there's a chill to the water. You know, like a real chill to the water. Not like it's hot, like bathing water. Ill. That's like swimming in a puddle. When the puddles are warm. Ill. You know what I mean? I don't like that. It doesn't even feel right on your skin to me. It just doesn't feel right. And I'm sure that people that live in warmer climates, they have no problem with their water being 89, 91, 95. But it begs the question, do they have a choice? Probably not. Unless they go and buy a lot of dry ice. Or some other way that means to cool the water down. But that is gross. Like if I lay in that flotation, that lounger, and I'm not laying in the sun because I got burned. And I mean, I'm not taking my shirt off because only when I'm in the pool I'm shirtless. That's bad enough. With no close-ups. It's not happening. Not until I lose a lot more weight and I have a six-pack. Not yet. The Mounjaro's really kicking in. The 7.5 dose is really starting to kick in from. But my A1C went up. It's a long story, but I had a hard time. I had to switch doctors. My other doctor was ineffective getting my medication. Because I'm type 2. And I need my Mounjaro, not for losing weight, it helps, but for my diabetes, my type 2, my A1C. But a lot of people are using it now for weight loss. Because it really does work. It suppresses the appetite. There's side effects with everything. But I had to literally battle with the insurance and tell my doctor they have to put a code. I am not taking this for weight loss. I'm taking it because I am type 2 diabetic. Because they won't cover it, my insurance, completely if it's not. And if you think things are bad now, I had some talks with the state, the insurance company. You see that big, beautiful bill? That's going to hurt a lot of people. Whether you're for it or against it, I found out information. It's not just going to affect the illegal immigrants that are getting this, which I am totally against them getting that, because there's people in this country that are suffering, that need that, and the abuse of the system by people that are legally here makes no sense to me. And that's the thing, if you're here illegally, you're here illegally. There is no gray there. If you're here illegally, that's the law. You're here illegally. You shouldn't be here. That's just the law. But I'm not going to get into that. But it's also going to affect a lot of people that are on Medicaid. Across the board, red, blue, doesn't matter. And they told me, because it's two insurances, of course. They told me, if you think things are tough now, you wait 3 months if things go through. I was like, what's that supposed to mean? And then they said, benefits are getting cut. They're scrambling. They're scrambling to prepare for it in the event that it passes. It's widespread cuts to people that are on Medicaid. And people have other insurances tied to Medicaid, the dual. Good luck. I've had long conversations with people because I don't sit around and do nothing. I'm proactive. I get on the phone. I can call them right now. Department of Social Services in New York. I've got all their numbers on my phone. Of course, I got my insurance company's number saved, and you can hear it. And they're very careful when they say it. It's because of, like I said, it's a two-pronged thing. Because people are really abusing Mounjaro for, it wasn't really designed for weight loss. It was designed for A1C. But everybody and everyone is taking it for weight loss. So they're making it harder for full coverage for some insurance companies because it was designed for A1C. It's complicated. It's complicated. But, you know, don't believe the bullshit that you see on the news media, all that, because they're going to tell you what they want you to hear. One scares you, think it's the end of the world, the liberals. The other one is covering up the actual effects it's going to have on many people. They're minimizing it. One is minimizing it. The other one is making it like Armageddon, depending on who you listen to. You know what I mean? But here's the thing. A lot of the people in the Senate, you know, the Senate is different than the House. The Senate seems to be more responsible when they make decisions. Let's just say that. They think out the process a little bit more. The House just rushes to stuff, you know, there's so many of them. But when you're dealing with the Senate, with 100 members, you know, it's a little different. And there are a lot of, not a lot, I can't say a lot. There are a few Republicans that know it's going to affect their constituents directly with these cuts. And they also look at what it can add to the debt. But, because that's of course a conservative view. But they also know a lot of their constituents are on Medicaid. It's not just a blue state thing, it's across the board. It's blue, red, there is no discrimination when it comes to that. It's going to affect a lot of people. And the same goes with, what is that called? SNAP? Oh my God. Look up, when you have a chance, because I'm not going to get into this, look up who receives a lot of SNAP benefits, but you have to look at the per capita number. Don't be fooled. You know, they kind of fool you with the numbers depending on where you look. Per capita, how many people live in the state and how many people are collecting in that state. You wouldn't believe Florida's like number 3. And a lot of the states on that list are red. Of course, there's blue states too, but there's a lot of red states on it too. So what does that tell you? It's going to affect them too. So this is not a partisan thing. It's bipartisan. It's going to affect everyone. And I pray it doesn't happen. And I think that there are responsible Republicans that are thinking twice about passing this bill, unless it's revised. So I would say for folks to do the homework yourself. And don't believe the mainstream media, whatever you watch, conservative, liberal, they're just going to put out their narrative on the whole thing. You know, one is the big beautiful bill, the big ugly bill. Depending on what you watch, you're going to hear 2 different things. But it's important to do the research and understand. Because if you, like, I don't watch TV, oh God. But God forbid it pops up on my TV. I'm like, nope, I'm changing. I don't want to hear this. Because I know where they're coming from. Depends which one I turn on. Because mom flips through the TV and I don't know what the heck she's watching. When I turn the TV on, who knows what's going to come on. So it's like, oh, here we go. So we'll see. But I was told if it passes, there's going to be cuts. And it's going to be harder to obtain some of your medication. I'm like, what? What do you mean? That's a no-no for me. That is a big flag. But we'll see. So don't buy the bullshit that it's only going to cut for those that are getting it, like the illegals and No, it's going to affect everyone that's on Medicaid, period, because they're going to make cuts of coverage. So, what can be covered, what can't be covered, your medication, when you go in to get services, some services may not be available to you anymore. Or whatever it's going to be, but there's going to be cuts. So, good luck. And, there are a lot of people that work and they're making, say, 40,000, let's just say, and they're still collecting Medicaid. And they partially, it's complicated. There are people out there. Just don't think it's for the poor. There are people struggling to make it and are still collecting Medicaid, even though they're making money and working. So, you got to do the research. Don't buy into the bullshit that they make it sound. Research is important. So, that's enough of that. Anyway, I'm getting ready to exit stage right and go in there. And not to get into the other stuff, but I was watching Fox News. It was on my TV. And they reported that there are 6 B-2 bombers that left the United States and heading to Guam, I believe it was. It happened to be on my TV and I put it on and it's on and I'm watching. That's just the way it is. To be fair. So that's what I seen. And look, I'm not a person for war at all, and I don't want to get... It's remarkable after what happened in Iraq, recent memory, Afghanistan. I think a vast majority of the country is like reluctant about getting involved in another conflict, yet let alone a long drawn out one, and putting their families at risk, putting ourselves at risk, because you never know what could happen here. The money involved, because if you think the deficit, the war machine, forget about it. They'll spend, who knows what they'll spend on it. So there's a lot of ramifications. A lot. So I don't think anybody, and of course, the most logical thing, loss of life. Civilian loss on all sides. So I don't think anybody really wants to see that, but at this point, I don't know how this gets resolved peacefully, because they just keep going at each other. This dream of a ceasefire, you know what I mean? It's wishful thinking. I hope it happens. But just look what's going on. Do you see a ceasefire going on between these two? Or do you think, like everything else, let's just think about this logically. Did Israel agree to a ceasefire when it came to Gaza? Or even Hezbollah? How long did it last? Do you think they're actually going to agree with a ceasefire with Iran, the sworn enemy that has threatened them since their existence? And you don't think they're going to want to get everything that they want done, at least to do as much damage to them as possible? You think they're going to stop? You know what I mean? That doesn't even make sense to me. They're still going in Gaza. It's like, really? You think they're just going to stop? Wishful thinking. I think a lot of people hope that there could be a ceasefire. And, they were talking, because I've been watching coverage. That's why I haven't been live. And I watched Tusi. Tusi's awesome. Tusi TV, he's awesome. He's Persian. He lives in the UK. And he's totally for the freedom. We have to also remember, depending on who you talk to, if you think of the stability and the peace in the region, and people will say, it was a controlled regime when the Shah of Iran was in power, because he was cruel too. to the people. So there's many things to look at here. But the Islamic Republic revolution, they took over. So there is a prince, the eldest son of the Shah, a prince of Iran. So what's the real regime here? The Islamic Republic that took it over? Is that the real bloodline and of Iran? Or is it really the prince and the family of the Shah as it was before? So there's a lot to look at when you look at the region. It's just complicated. And this goes on for so long. Shia, Sunni, the Kurds. You have all these factions that tribal. It goes back really thousands of years. And then, of course, the Persians, which is Iran. So that region has been a mess for God knows how long. And it's not really something that we should be getting involved with, and really stay the hell out of it. But you have to look at it this way too. You think Russia's going to stay out of it? You think China's influence is going to stay out of it? It's more of a global positioning of power, of strength in a region. I hate to say it that way, but that's what it is. So you think China and Russia are happy right now, what's going on in Iran? Heck no. No way. If let's just say there's a regime change, you could say bye-bye to all that Russian and Chinese influence. Yes, they'll still have a representation there, but not like they do right now. If it swings democratic, it swings to the West. So that creates a whole political shift in the region. And then you have the proxies decimated right now. Hamas, Hezbollah, Houthis, Syrian regime, government, that's gone. You still have pockets of Iraqi militants that are supported by Iran, but they're decimated right now. They are decimated. So if any time the head of the snake is vulnerable, it is now. All the proxies are weakened. You're not going to have an opportunity like this. I'm just putting it out like that. When you think about it. Also, a lot of people have to think about this. This is not the same situation it was in Iraq. Because Iraq still had a lot of factions and influence of Iran. Even when we were there, liberated it, call it a liberation, because I don't call it a liberation. But they still had anti-US sentiment there. They still had a body of people in their parliament that were pro-Iranian. So it wasn't like a complete shift in the government. They still resented having the US there. So it's different. Now just think about the scenario, and I'm not saying hypothetically, it's all hypothetical. Imagine if the regime falls in Iran and it becomes more of a democratic society. That's a game changer. Not only that, think of, a lot of people may not realize this, think of America's influence and investment in Iran, tourism. I'm sure Trump would even probably say, like he said with the Gaza Strip, oh, we could put hotels. There's also that part of it, the financial benefit of having they would drop the sanctions, they would create new relations. I mean, this also, for Saudi Arabia and some of these other countries, they'd be happy because their proxies would be pretty much dead without Iranian support. You don't think Saudi Arabia is not celebrating this right now? They're all publicly condemning it, but behind the scenes, they are happy. That is their enemy. They're the ones that supplied Yemen, the Houthis. Saudi Arabia was at war with Yemen. The region will get peaceful, a lot more stable. Relationships will be built. I'm just saying that's another way to look at it. There's a lot of different ways from different perspectives. You know, we're never going to allow the occupiers, the settlers to take it over. We'll never accept Israel as a state, blah, 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 blah. We know that. There's so many ways to look at this. But it's complicated. It's very complicated. It's not a simple, when you look at it from all the different angles, it's very complicated. Think how many drones Iran sent to Russia that they're using against Ukraine. Think about China getting the oil and sending missile components to Iran. Or Russia sending missile air defense systems to Iran. It's very complicated. I just don't want to see war, though. I don't want to. I don't. That's like the. I mean, come on. There's got to be a solution here. Because, God forbid, I'm telling you, I'm one of those people that's very concerned, and I know a lot of people are. I think the majority of the country does not want to get involved. But if we do, who knows what happens? That's the big question mark. What happens after that? What's next? And I don't know if anybody wants to take that step forward. I'm just going to be honest. I give the president a lot of credit for trying not to start a war. People are like freaking out, and I get it, because he promised not to start war and end all conflict, all that. I get it. I totally get it. But then again, you can pull up clips. He said he was totally against the war in Iraq. That's not true. Shortly after, in 2003, he wrote a book. He went on Howard Stern. He's on the record saying that he did support it. But he was upset that we didn't take the oil. So, you know, there's that hypocrisy that exists too. But I think he's doing the right thing by being patient, giving it as much time as possible to try to come to a diplomatic solution here. Now, the thing that concerns me, the same bullshit that happened with the WMDs in Iraq, and Israel's claiming that they were weeks away, and they've been saying that for God knows how long. They're weeks away, they're months away. How long have we heard that for? But the president is convinced they were weeks away too. I would like to know the intelligence on that. If we go in and it turns into another WMD situation like Iraq, that they weren't close, but we went in anyway, that's not going to be a good look. Again, another way to look at it. There's a lot of ways to look at this. You know, there's so many different variables involved. So it's a concern. It's a major concern. And I don't know. Right now, you don't even know what they might have up their sleeve. Well, I hate to say it. What if they have the capacity to even develop a dirty bomb or a suitcase? And an act of desperation. That's scary just to think about all the different possibilities here. My gosh, I just pray for peace. That's it. That's what I say. Pray for peace. I hope. But right now, as I said before, I was watching Fox News, and they said 6 B-2s left the United States, is heading to Guam, I believe. Let me see if I can find that. Then I'm done with this talk, because it's making me crazy. It's all over the place. 4th of July is coming. Oh my gosh. today. Fox News. There it is. See, I told you it was on Fox. B-2s, not B-52s. What am I saying? B-2s, stealth bombers, 6 of them, appeared to be on the move hours before Trump expected at White House tonight at 6. He's having a meeting at the White House. 6 B-2 stealth bombers from Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri appeared to be en route to Guam. See, that's what I saw this morning. They refueled after launching, suggesting they launch without fuel tanks because of the weight. That means, think about that. What are they carrying? What's their payload? That means they're loaded. Because they took off because of that extra weight. Due to a heavy onboard payload, which could be bunker-busting bombs. 6 of them. There's also activity in Diego Garcia. So, and then this gets into the whole article on bunker busters. But this happened. Now, he's going to be in NATO meeting on Monday. The president will be in Europe for a NATO meeting. Could you imagine something happening before Monday and then he has a speech to all the NATO members about it? But I don't think so. You got to remember, it takes a lot to get these in the air. And the time. And if they're doing a round trip, it could take 30 hours. Up to 30 hours. But let's see. President Trump to NATO summit. It's Monday and Tuesday, I believe. Okay. I'm just going to click on anything. So, when is it? Next week's NATO. Oh, it's not saying the dates. I'm skimming. It's at The Hague. Of course they don't say it on this article. It's supposed to be Monday and Tuesday, I believe. There it is. June 24th, actually, and the 25th. I was wrong. It's okay. Tuesday and Wednesday? Is that Tuesday and Wednesday? What's today? 21st, 22nd, 23rd, Tuesday and Wednesday. He'll be over there at the NATO summit. At least he's scheduled to be there. Another thing to keep an eye on. So, I don't know. Another thing with the timing, and I think it's all about timing. The USS Gerald Ford to Middle East. The 3rd carrier group. Getting all the assets in place just in case. Now, I don't know if this article might be old. Okay, that's 3 days ago. This is the Post, which is a conservative paper. Next week. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know if it's left already. I don't know. But this is another asset. See, these are all old, 1 day ago. Okay, so this says Navy Times. So it hasn't deployed yet. Next week. This was yesterday. So it's going to deploy next week. The newest and most advanced aircraft carrier. So there you go. Things to keep an eye on. That's all I'll say. Things to keep an eye on. And by the way, another thing to keep an eye on. This is the latest going on here. And there'll be more. The Bishop's merchandise is available on kgradb.com. Let me just get rid of that. So if you go to shop, you can go to Bishop Long or you can go to the KGRA stuff. So the Bishop stuff is there already. There'll be more. More shows will be added. So here's the Bishop's merchandise. I love this shirt. I want that shirt because I love the tie-dye look. St. Michael. I love the way that shirt looks. Comes in all colors. I'm not a green person, but that doesn't actually look bad for green. The white one probably stands out. Yeah, that's what I thought. But he's got his merch out. There's a tumbler I really like. And I gotta buy it too. It's not like I get it for free. I have to buy it myself if I wanted to. Doesn't work that way. See, I like the tumbler. I like that tumbler. I do. I think they had scented candles too, which would be smart if they did. I'm not seeing the scented candles. Maybe they haven't put everything out yet. Oh, there it is. Okay. Let me check the station stuff. I haven't even looked at this. Do you know that? Oh, I like the glasses. I like that glass. Oh, I like the glasses. Oh, I like this. Oh. Haha. Let me see. I haven't even checked this. I like that tumbler too. Yeah, I like that. And phone cases. Pretty cool. All right. I'm going to play a couple of songs and then I'm getting ready to go out there. It's almost 11. I'm already hot in the house. But I think the two songs I wrote kind of fit right now. It's weird. They just do. It's weird how I wrote those songs and it's like the lyrics. And it's like, makes sense now. What was the first one? And then I got to do a sound check from the out there to in here. Not that one. This one.
And fissures to form, foundations attacked. Is this the new norm? Panic drives those with fear, driven by those who seek power. Will we be driven to our darkest hour? Rumors swirl, what should we believe? Blame shifts to each other, falling on deaf ears. We build our own borders. Who will survive? Will it be law and order? Is it just conspiracy? Masterminds of the global new order. Oh, standing in the fault line, ground trembles under my feet. Forces line to wage war, they will be the ones we defeat. Standing in the fault line, caught in the crossfire. Anger fills the air, leads to chaos and disorder. Warning shots ignored, writing is on the wall. What will it take before we all fall? One side pits to destroy each other, the cauldron of fire to be released. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Is this judgment day or the eve of the beast? Rivers swirl when we had the chance to seek a commonality. Anger voices heard above each other, too late for this finality. Lines drawn in the sand, now wiped away by gale force winds. We all need to respect each other, or in the end no one wins. Standing in the fault line, ground trembles under my feet. Forces line to wage war, they will be the ones we defeat. Standing in the fault line, caught in the crossfire. Anger fills the air, leads to chaos and disorder.
Thunder roars in the distance, lights appear in the sky. Streaks zigzag above, top guns blazing as they fly. Battle stations for the fleet, defense countermeasures in place. Emotions whirl with apprehension, soon to engage face to face. Propaganda fills the air, false sense of security. Bluster turned to fluster, tyranny's path to obscurity. Misleading their people, the truth hidden behind the veil. Society begins its uprising. Freedom will prevail. The power of the forces align with fearless allies. Mission to be one. Confidence as they rise. Defeat not an option. The enemy will lie in defeat. The drums of war begin. The drums of war begin. Thunderous with every beat. A match ignites the tinderbox. Countries gripped in fear. Will this become the next world war? Borders soon to disappear. Allies against the evil axis. Struggle between good and evil. Viewed through different lenses in the eyes of the beholder. Once shielded by their sword,
funny, when I wrote that song, pretty much fits now, doesn't it? When I hear the lyrics that I wrote, it's like, whoa, this is like really fitting right now. Kind of odd how that ended up being that way. Anyway, I am going to do a test now because I'm getting ready to go out there. So I have to run a test. And it's going to be fun. Because yesterday was an issue, but I think I fixed it. So the audio is going from out there through an XLR cable coming into this house 100 feet to this mixer board. So what I hear on those speakers in the pool is what's being heard in here on the stream. Because if we listen to the camera mic, it's horrible. And we can do that. Let me lower it first. To hear the pool pump. Don't ask me what that tapping is. I don't know what that tapping is. Alright, we're gonna go out there. I need my glasses. Where are my glasses? They're all tangled. Those are 2 blues. I don't want blue. Those are my other ones. Yes. What's that tapping? I don't know what that tapping was. Everything's good. Now the test. The hell is that? My headphones. Now let's see if the audio will sound good when I put it through the board. Okay, let's shut the camera off. Here we go. Sounds shitty. Oh, wait.
The path reveals a light. My body starts to purge. Energy ignites. We continue to search. Upon the clearing path, the rider nears its end. Glimmering light approaches the bend, cutting like a blade into the wind of glory. Cross the finish line in a champion story. Riding all the gears, struggling through an uphill climb.
I didn't do it. Oh, somebody's calling my phone. That's why. I'm not picking it up. Nobody's bothering me today. Absolutely not. No one is bothering me today. For one day, people are going to leave me alone. For one day.
Make it this time.
I got to fix the sound, though.
Reaching to the top to stop the decline. Cruising to the movement, machine making it mine. Riding it fast, rocking through the tracks, hitting all speeds, never looking back. Pedal to the metal, no limit in sight. Dust clouds left behind.
I got to figure out why the sound sounds so shitty. I'm going to go to a different channel. It's the same. I got to figure that out on the phone. Maybe if I lower the phone volume.
Storm clouds stir, eagles glide above. No
This is the test. This is what I got to figure out.
This is what I love. The path reveals a light. My body starts to purge. Energy ignites. We continue to search. Upon the clearing path, the rider nears its end. Glimmering light approaches the bend, cutting like a blade into the wind of glory. Cross the finish line in the mist of the morning dew. Daylight appears within the sky. A clearing appears in a path below. A movement blurs the eye as it moves by. The power of the might as the pedals roar. Hands held tight on a silver bar. Reaching new heights as it continues to soar. Riding it fast, rocking through the tracks, hitting all speeds, never looking back. Pedal to the metal, no limit in sight. Dust clouds left. The ground begins to crumble, cracks and fissures to form. Foundations attacked. Is this the new norm? Panic drives those with fear, driven by those who seek power. Will we be driven to our darkest hour? Rumors swirl, what should we believe? Blame shifts to each other, falling falling on deaf ears. We build our own borders. Will survive, will it be law and order? Is it just conspiracy?
These people are trying to call me again. It's insane. That's why the music stopped. This early in the morning, 2 calls already. It's not happening. Bye.
Masterminds of the global new order. Oh, standing in the fault line, ground trembles under my feet. Forces on to wage war, there will be the ones we defeat. Standing in the fault line, caught in the crossfire. Anger fills the air, leads to chaos and disorder. Warning shots ignored, writing is on the wall.
Sounds a little scratchy. It's overmodulating.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Is this judgment day or the eve of the beast? Rivers swirl when we had the chance to seek a commonality. Anger voices heard above each other, too late for this finality. Lines drawn in the sand, now wiped away by gale force winds. We all need to respect each other, or in the end no one wins. Standing in the fault line, ground trembles under my feet. Forces on to wage war, there will be the ones we defeat. Standing in the fault line, caught in the crossfire. Anger fills the air, leads to chaos and disorder.
It's the only way. Maybe if I lower the main.
Standing in the fault line, ground trembles under my feet.
Could be my songs that sound crappy. I gotta get off of the YouTube one. YouTube is not, it's not gonna, I can't play. I'm sweating already.
Standing in the fault line, fills the air, leads to chaos and disorder, and disorder.
It's overmodulating. I can hear it.
As twilight approaches with colorful hues, daydreams turn to night. Twinkling appears slowly above the hints of the heavenly light. With each passing moment, wonders are born, like years traveled, determining that date. A look through a time machine, how long before we know their fate? The wonders and dreams race against time. life out there, feeding in the Goldilocks zone? What would an exoplanet be like? Is it similar to our own? Mysteries of the universe, galaxies swirl, what is that black hole?
All right, we're saying goodbye to YouTube and Facebook. We'll be on Twitch. Can't play music, so I'm gonna put the links. We're also on Rumble.
Revealing the secrets the naked eye
So
can't
for
see.
YouTube, this is where
What
we'll
is
be.
that beautiful
I'm gonna
planet?
stop on YouTube and
Which
Facebook.
planet is that? What could that be? Pulling all the charts like a captaincy, heart pounding within my chest.
And Rumble.
A new frontier to be.
We're staying on Rumble and we're staying on Twitch.
Humanity's destiny to begin its quest. Rockets launched
And then
upward
we're
with
saying
a
goodbye to
fiery roar.
YouTube.
Risks and danger lie in its course, overcoming all challenges. Atmosphere pierced with all its force. Is that a SpaceX rocket or satellite? Feelings of excitement and joy, lying back and gazing at this beautiful sight. The night lit sky for all to enjoy.
All right, YouTube, we are out of here. Links are in chat.
Could there be life out there, feeding in the Goldilocks zone?
Now it's Facebook's turn.
Planet be like?